Okay, are we hearing me now at all? Nope, still not. Hmm. Oh, you can hear me now. Yay! I figured it out. Did you hear the intro before I came on, or was that also silent? I don't know. If it was silent, whatever. I could hear it playing. I don't know if you guys could. I don't know why my mic wasn't working, but I turned my thing off and back on, and that seemed to fix it, so that was good. The intro was silent? Tell me if you can hear it now. Hold on. Where is it? Okay, can you hear that at all? Weird. I can't believe you guys can't hear that. I don't understand why you can't hear that either. But that's gonna bother me now. I mean, I probably won't figure it out now, but it's still gonna bother me now. Hmm. Well, that is upsetting. Why would it not play? That now I have an echo. Okay, I think I got rid of the echo. That is frustrating. I don't understand why you can't hear it. Sorry, I'm all boring. I don't do the monologue thing well, and I'm trying to figure out why there's no sound.
Hey, can you hear me? Your voice is real soft.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have headphones. I didn't bring my head. I went to. I'm in Georgia, but I didn't bring my headphones with me when I left.
Got you. I just turned my gains up. But I don't know why it won't play the sound. It's driving me nuts. I can hear the sound when it plays.
That is weird. What is it? What does it sound like?
Actually, I wonder if I can just do this. Hold on. Where's...
I'll turn my camera on real quick. Hi.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Trying to stay warm. It's been. I mean, I know people up north will make fun of us down here in the south for saying that we're freezing cold because they deal with it all the time. But this is really unusual for Georgia and Florida for it to be this cold and snowy.
I don't know. It gets cold where I'm at, but that's because of the wind. We get that wind chill factor.
Oh yeah, and the wind was really bad yesterday. We hardly got any snow here at my parents' house, but in the up on the northeast side of the Atlanta area, it snowed pretty good up there. There are people that are still digging out from the snow.
Oh, that does not sound
go
fun.
anywhere. Probably some people lost their power.
Oh, but we always do in Texas. Every time it gets cold, we lose our power because, well, I won't go there. Never mind.
But the kids got to play in the snow. They got a snow day. So that was nice.
That's fun.
That's always cool. Those were really rare growing up in Georgia. It's like we were never guaranteed every year to get snow. Some years we would get snow and some not.
I'm just glad this year we got some fluffy Colorado-like snow instead of that freezing slush.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's what everybody wants to get.
I remember the first time it kind of snowed here and I ran outside and I was like, that shit is not snow. I came right back in. I was like, that is not snow.
Not asking, not to get too, if you don't want to say where your location is, but what state are you in?
I'm in Texas right now, unfortunately, but not forever.
You told me that already. I'm sorry, I forgot.
No, you're fine. Hold on, I'm trying to find. Ah, I found it. Look at me go.
I was in Texas in 2024 for the eclipse.
Were you?
Yeah. Yep, I had to come out there and see find a spot in the path of totality and check it out because I had there was one total eclipse that the total eclipse that happened early in the sometime in the 80s. The path of totality was in Georgia, but I was in elementary school and they wouldn't let us go outside and actually watch it. We had to watch inside on TV.
That sucks.
And so that was kind of weird. It wasn't a real experience. So I wanted to experience what it was really like.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had a chill day, I guess. I'm kind of tired for no reason. Well, I say for no reason. It's probably because I actually got to slow down for a minute. I didn't have a weekend last weekend. I worked all weekend and then worked straight through the week again. Oh. So this weekend, I'm just like, So I've just been crocheting and playing piano mostly.
Does this kind of weather just make you want to hibernate a little bit? Stay in bed, things like that when you can?
No, I don't stay in bed well, but I do bundle up a lot.
That's nice. The sample of the piano playing that you sent me, that was beautiful. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you. I'm getting better at it. I've added to it, but I've got to get that transition between the third and the fourth in the addition better before I add to it some more.
Yeah.
It's going okay for a beginner.
I've been on a bit of a Legend of Zelda kick lately. I've been watching a lot of going on YouTube and and looking up some of the orchestra music from like A Link to the Past from the Super Nintendo game, and finding these fan hacks of the original Legend of Zelda games and watching those and seeing the kind of stuff that they did. And I was thinking to myself, if Pixie gets good at the piano, it'd be awesome if she played some Legend of Zelda music.
I will try. I've got a list of songs I want to learn, and one of them is pretty intimidating, but I am determined to learn it.
Oh, okay. Well, step at a time.
Well, two of them are kind of intimidating, but mostly Here Comes the Sun is intimidating, but I really want to learn that one.
Okay. Well, that's a good song.
Yeah, it's my favorite Beatles song.
Yeah.
And then, it was always funny to me because John and Paul got all the glory, but my favorite song was written by George.
Oh. Because he, when they broke up, yeah, he struck out on his own, but I don't know that he ever had as big a solo career.
He didn't, but he's the one that wrote. He's the one that wrote "Here Comes the Sun."
Yeah,
just my favorite one.
He really got into it was some kind of Eastern religion, I think, that he got into for a while, and he wrote. Isn't he the one who wrote that song "My Sweet Lord"? But it wasn't about. It wasn't.
I don't have any idea.
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't about the Christian God. I think it was about like Krishna or something. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I thought that was what's his name with Yoko Ono, who and all.
Oh, John Lennon.
Yeah.
Yeah, not sure.
Or maybe he was just like Flower Child, kind of.
Might have
scary enough.
It was all. I was born in '75, so even though I feel pretty old now, that was all before my time.
I was born in '84.
84. That was a good year to be born.
The first day of the last month.
Oh. December 1st.
Yep. There's somebody in the community who was born the day after me, literally, like in real life, literally born the day after me. I call him ABT, almost birthday twin.
ABT?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
What?
So is anybody else? What if anybody else
coming over
in with us? If Batman is the Bat. Is that what Odin? Is that what he calls himself? The Batman.
I call him Batman.
Yeah, you call him Batman.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to jump in because I know he's on your streams a lot. Who else is on your streams a lot of times?
I don't really stream often, so I don't know. It's hard to tell. Serb comes by sometimes. Odin, ABT. Well, Midnight comes by. Well, I don't. I should probably share my link. I haven't done that. I didn't put it in the group chat.
Cerberus Rex, is he one of them? Or is it
it's Serb.
Serb.
Both come by, but I love Serb. Serb is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, but Clockwork I've talked to a few times.
He is also awesome. I was gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons with him, but then shit went to hell for a while, and then that never happened. I should hit him up sometime.
That's a game I unfortunately never got a chance to get into because I grew up the kind of community that I grew up in. The school that I went to, they would have never allowed us to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, well, I didn't play it with any of my school friends. I actually played it with my sister got married before she graduated high school. Like she took her husband to prom and all that. So, and at this point, I wasn't living in the same town. Okay, so my parents were never divorced. It's not like that. My dad had some stuff to figure out with his PTSD and all of that, and the nightmares and the crazy stuff when he got out of the military. Oh, and then the next time we didn't live in the same place was because of a job, right? So me and my big sister had moved with my dad early, and my little sister and my little brother were going to finish out the next year. So my brother would be out of elementary, and then they were going to move with us. But my big sister decided that she wanted to go back and finish out school where my mom was, and so that made it take longer for my mom and my other siblings to come up to where me and my dad was. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So at this point, I am living with my dad, and everybody else is with my mom.
Okay.
And they keep asking me if I want to go back, and I'm like, hell no, I don't want to go back. No, never. And so, but all right, so now there's a town about 15 minutes away from where my mom lives, right? So when my sister got married, her and her husband lived in that town that was about 15 minutes away from the town my mom and my other siblings lived. And she would just drive to school. Right. So it's at that time that they couldn't talk me into visiting where my mom lived. And so they said, well, why don't you come visit your sister and we'll all just hang out over there? And I was like, okay, I can do that. So I went to visit my sister and her new husband, and that is where I played Dungeons and Dragons for the first time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hey, Batman. Hey, Big Bad
I'm trying to get connected to the comments so I can chat instead of having to go back to the YouTube tab.
Oh, yeah.
It lost all my StreamYard permissions. I haven't gone on a live stream in a few months.
Oh, StreamYard changed a bunch of stuff. Like I can't play my intro through StreamYard either. Also, I sent you my intro so you could hear it since nobody could hear it earlier, and I don't know why.
Okay. Thanks. Hello, Odine. Hello, Big Bad Mama.
You guys can join. There's not really a topic. We're just chilling.
Chillaxing.
I've been crocheting and playing piano, you know?
I was arguing with the stupid, it's a boring thing to talk about, but I was arguing with the washing machine a little bit earlier because trying to get some stuff to, it's an LG washing machine, and normally they're really awesome. But I guess I put a really unbalanced load in there, some things that I'm trying to get washed up before I go back to Florida tomorrow. And I guess I really unbalanced the thing. I was trying to just get it to, and everything in there is, it wouldn't spin all the water out of everything. So I'm just trying to get it to go through just a spin cycle only and get everything finished so I can move it over to the dryer or whatever, just hang it out to dry. And I'm fumbling with the thing because it's like, you just have one. I didn't realize there was just one button you could push and it would go to spin cycle only. It's kind of a hidden feature.
I don't know. All my favorite stuff air dries.
I'm doing some boring stuff tonight. I'm not really doing much exciting.
Me either. But
no distilling going on.
I've just been working so much. So when I didn't have to work this weekend, I was like piano and crochet, and that is it. Leave me alone. But I wonder if you can hear it now that you're in here. Actually, hold on. Tell me if you can hear it because you're up here. Let's see.
Yeah, try it.
Can you hear it?
No, still no. There's no sound. Don't know why. Well, there's something. It's like it's real faint.
See, I hear it loud as hell.
Yeah, it's like the sound is just not turned up.
That's weird because I hear it like
across the stream.
So loud. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Wait, I wonder. Hold on.
Is StreamYard trying to extort more money out of you or something? You have to pay for that?
Probably. I don't know. I'll mess with it later. Who cares?
Hey, we're already here. We know you're a cool person. We know your show.
I can be every now and then, but shh.
Keep it quiet. Keep it a secret.
That's right. We don't need too many people in these parts. Then I'll have to shut it down and move somewhere else.
So, how did you like my my little fermentation video that I sent you?
Oh, that was nice. That looked pretty.
That is a lot of fun. That's a project that I've had going now for let's see. I started it back in October, It's an old moonshiner's recipe, or really it's more of a process called Uncle Jesse's Simple Sour Mash. It's just it's just corn whiskey basically, but it's you don't actually cook the mash. You just put everything together in the bucket. The alcohol just comes from sugar. You put the sugar in
Yeah.
there when you ferment it, and when you basically just do one batch after another. After the first batch, you siphon it off, you run it through your pot still, and then there will be a sour liquid that's left in the pot still, the uh, the spent stillage, and you use a little bit of that and you put it in your next batch, and that sours the wash. Over time, it drops the pH down, and that breaks the corn down over time, and also it breaks down the sugar so that it's easier for the yeast to eat, and the yeast don't get stressed out as much while they're making the
Look,
alcohol.
it's really cool that other people could do that, but I'd be one of those idiots that, like, just, got scatterbrained at some point and forgot something and then, like, accidentally killed myself. That would be me.
Well, then, as long as you follow pretty simple rules, though, is like distillation is really not dangerous as long as you're careful. It's probably frying things up in the kitchen in deep fat is more dangerous and more likely to cause a fire than running a pot still is. Just some simple rules to follow. As long as you keep everything cool and whatever's coming out of the still, it's not, as long as you're not getting alcohol vapor coming out the end, that it's actually coming out as a fluid that's going in the jar, then it's not going to be flammable. It's not going to catch on fire.
Well, it's not even that. You know how, like, when you listen to moonshiners, they're like, you have to clear that first part because that part will give you alcohol poisoning and blah blah blah.
Oh, I know what they're talking about. They're talking about the first little bit that comes off the still. They call it the foreshots.
Yeah.
And then that's something that it depends on at what point you are doing the distillation. If you're doing when you're doing the first distillation, you don't worry about it really. But the second time it comes across, like depending on how big your wash is, like mine is a 5-gallon pot still. So I'll build 4.5 to 5-gallon washes at a time. And when I run that through about the first, 4 ounces or so, the first 100 milliliters, they're never going to make the final cut, because that's the foreshots. It has some methanol in it. It has nasty things that might smell like nail polish remover and stuff like that, and other chemicals. Like, nobody wants that in their liquor. Nobody wants to drink that, and it doesn't age well either. So you cut that part out and leave that out, and then just collect what else comes out.
Yeah, see, I'd fuck something up. I just would.
It's a lot of
no more Pixie.
It's a lot to follow, but like once you get it down, it's really not that hard.
Yeah, there'd be no more Pixie.
I'd give Pixie a complete guide here. Just follow just follow everything that's on this card, and nothing will go wrong. Just basic rules. But yeah, it's sour mash corn whiskey. The only ingredient, it's corn. It's cracked corn like you would get at a feed store place like Tractor Supply, or like in bulk at Walmart, and it's just cracked up. Now I toast some of it in the oven before I put it in my batch because it gives it more flavor. But you can use just raw corn, and over time it breaks down. The sour wash breaks it down. And like I said, the sugar is making most of the alcohol anyway. The corn is there just to flavor it. But over time, what you were looking at in the ferment video, that's, like I say, I've been running it continuously since October. So over time, it just gets better and better and better with every batch. So that, I think the video that I had there was after 6 or 7 cycles. So it really gets some nice smells. It gets a nice sizzle to it when it's fermenting or when it's working off, and you just hear it crack. It's just crackling the whole time. Like, it's healthy. It's doing good.
Nice. I need a cheaper hobby.
Well, playing piano. I mean, that's not. I mean, are you paying for lessons, or are you just trying to learn it entirely on your own?
Oh, I'm just doing it on my own because the way I learn is really weird. But also that the setup was expensive. Maintaining that isn't expensive. But I was just sitting here crocheting and I was looking at my next yarn order and I was like, holy shit.
Oh, okay. It's
So this
the material.
blanket I'm making, of course I am making it of wool. So that's probably why. But this wool blanket I'm making, by the time everything's said and done, it's probably going to be like $350, $400.
Yeah, because that's I have one kilt that's made out of wool, and it's really really heavy. But the wool kilts are always a lot more expensive than like the acrylic kind,
Or the cotton.
or the ones that are made
Even the cotton is a lot less expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But these, I just have to keep telling myself it's because it's really 2 blankets in one. And because I'm double stitching it. So the front side is all squares, right? So there's 6 pieces in the middle that have the same background pattern.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them have plants and 3 of them have creatures. Okay.
Oh.
Like a turtle, a dragonfly, things like that. So those are going to be put together. Then around that, and they're very earth tone. They're very like clay and sand and green and turquoise. They're very like earth tones. And then around that, in bright orange and yellow and dark red, and are going to be these desert scenes. And then around that, you go back to the sandy and the clay colors. And then around that is another bright desert border. But each one of these squares, every single one of these squares has embroidery designs. So in the back, when I'm done piecing all of that together, I'm going to go into the back and then I'm going to stitch the back straight through just in different colored lines. So one side has all the embroidery and the other side is smooth.
Okay. So it's like an old-fashioned patchwork quilt.
Yes, but with like separate appliques that are sewn on to each square in the front. Like one's a cocopelli, one's a gecko lizard, one's a spiral, one is a water lily, one's a dragonfly, one's a horse, one's a deer, like things like that. And then the bright colored desert scenes with the rocks and the cactus.
That sounds really nice. But each one is in its own square in the quilt?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds great. And made out of wool too.
Yeah. Yep, it is a thank you gift.
Is it for what do you call her? Your super munchkin?
No, it's for
somebody else.
No, if I did her, she'd want a much more simple design. No, my only instructions were Santa Fe colors. Make it a Santa Fe blanket. And so I am having fun making it a Santa Fe blanket. And this person likes artistic things, and it's for Mac. It's for Mac the human.
Okay. As opposed to Mac the laptop.
Well, I mean, if you see him around, that's his name.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well,
I want to make one for Super Munchkin, but she hasn't picked her design yet. So
I would I don't really call her my munchkin or my super munchkin like you do, but my daughter, she's 20 now. I can't believe she's almost drinking age. It's not long, just a few more months. This summer she turns 21. And I told her that I found there was a little art when she was, I can't think of how old she was, maybe about 6 or 7. And during the summertime, one year we sent her to some art classes in the summertime, and she drew a really nice pencil sketch of this red apple. And then that drawing, it was made into kind of a, well, it's probably just easier if I show you instead of telling about it. If I can find the thing, let's see where I put it. But it's like a pencil box almost. I'll turn my camera on again for just a second.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't even paying attention to chat because I didn't know anyone was watching.
So it's like
I almost
this.
missed
It's kind of a there's a glare in here, but it's kind of a pencil box, and she drew an apple.
Oh, cool. How pretty. She did it very well.
So I told her that I found this, and I was thinking, well, I'm making some apple brandy, so this will be a perfect logo for my apple brandy. Put that on there
That is
and just
awesome.
call it Miranda's Apple.
That is awesome.
So I'm making all kinds of spirits. I'm not just whiskey.
My Super Munchkin's
but I'm
gonna get
gonna
married
get whiskey. Oh, how soon?
November.
Bond is here.
I know.
What's
I
up?
said hey.
And some guy named this one guy. What's up, this one
Hey,
guy?
Tog.
I don't think we've met before.
Yeah, no, she's gonna get.
I know.
She's gonna get married in November.
Oh, okay. How old is she?
20.
20. Okay. She's getting married young.
Not much younger than I was. Older than my sister was.
My girl broke up with her boyfriend. Things weren't going so well with them. She was upset with him because here she's going to school, and she is very dedicated to finishing her degree, and she's studying environmental science. But at the same time, her boyfriend was supposed to be going to classes, and basically told her that that's what he was going to be doing. And then he ended up not registering for classes and not telling her about it. And then later she's talking to him about it, and like, I didn't register for classes. It's like, what? And then there was some other stuff that happened between the two of them, but I guess she just felt like, this just isn't working out. I just can't. They had been going out since she was in high school, the last year of her high school. But she was just kind of like, I think it's time to move on. It's just not working out between me and him. And so my advice was like, yeah, if he's really not being honest with you, if he's pressuring you to do things, focus more on him than focusing on trying to get your degree done and things like that, and do what you need to be doing. It's like, yeah, don't let that happen.
Yeah. I mean, luckily for me, that's not something I have to worry about. I mean, she is a firecracker. She's yeah, she went into her sophomore year of college with 92 credit hours.
Oh.
Already behind her. She's already going to graduate next fall, or yeah, she's going to graduate. She could graduate a year early, but she's going to graduate a semester early, and then she's going to apply to PA school. So she's kicking butt and taking names. She's shadowing, she's volunteering, she's doing everything she needs to do. So I mean, I can't really complain about anything. I was pregnant. I mean, I was pregnant when I was her age, so.
Physician assistant school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Sounds like she's doing great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's I don't know how she does it sometime. One semester, she maxed out at one college, took 3 more classes at another college, was also shadowing and working full time and still having date nights. So I don't know how she manages it all, but good for her.
Focused, just really focused. Yeah. And then I guess just the date nights are just, okay, I'll take a break.
Oh, it's so funny because they're like, do you ever spend time with your fiance? And she's like, yeah. I mean, he's studying and I'm studying and we're not studying the same thing, but we're there.
Make time for each other.
I was like, that's fair. Fair.
Yeah, and that's one thing, them making time for each other, but in a way where they're not, one's not trying to distract the other one or trying to, because my daughter's boyfriend was trying to, she was like, well,
Distract her.
I really, yeah, distract her too much. Yeah, like, yeah, I have a lot of schoolwork to do. I have tests that are coming up and everything. Oh, but we need to do this, we need to do that, and just
yeah, that's no good.
Yeah, and just interfering too much. And then at the same time not really getting his own life together. It just didn't look good.
Her wedding is gonna be so pretty. Her wedding colors are finally starting to come together. So I thought I was gonna end up in a dark green dress because dark green's her favorite color. But her bridesmaids are wearing dark green. And I don't want to match her bridesmaids because she wants me and her dad to walk her down the aisle.
Oh.
And so I guess I am wearing burnt orange. And so I think that she's going to have a fall wedding, so the dark green and the burnt orange, and I think in the canyon.
Is she doing the really traditional white dress and all that, or is she doing something different?
So it is white, but it's got like dark green embroidered ivy on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's very pretty. It's very pretty. I mean, it's obviously a wedding dress, but it has like this dark green ivy embroidered on it, and it kind of goes like it goes down from the waist, but not all the way to the bottom of the skirt, and up from the waist, but not all the way to the top.
But it has a unique, just a unique look to it, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, does everybody else have the link?
Because it's pinned down there.
Okay. Because I'm looking at the StreamYards. I don't know if they can see it or not.
I thought I pinned it.
Oh, it's still showing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I did. It's Sunday though. Maybe they're busy getting ready for work tomorrow.
Yeah, I got kind of a quiet night tonight. I just have things I need to finish up, and then I have
and I don't stream often. I don't stream often or regularly, so it's not like anybody's looking for me to be streaming.
I've never streamed, but I'm thinking about maybe streaming finally this year. Maybe in another month. I don't know what I'll stream about.
The only time I was streaming semi-regularly is when I was streaming with Batman.
Yeah, you've had some pretty good shows in the past where Batman's come on and Bond has come on, and there's some interesting topics.
Well, those were Batman's shows.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, those were for him. Okay.
Yeah, he said, I have this show idea and I want to do it on your channel. And I was like, okay, I will host it. And so that's where those came from.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was the arrangement.
Yeah, that's why I said the only time I was semi-regular outside of book club was when Odin was bringing the topics. Yep. I don't know. I can participate in discussions, but I don't monologue well, and I usually don't have a topic when I come up here. That's very rare.
I thought about like what I might want to do, like maybe do, kind of like a book club thing, like, not the copycat or whatever, but like a book club.
Do one.
Like something I'm reading from, or Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
hey,
Or I could.
I think you should do one and I'll link yours. I'm not even like upset or offended by that at all.
I think just whatever I want to do. I think I want to. There are already enough streams on religious topics and on the craziness in politics right now and all that. So I think I'd want to move away from that and do something that's more chill. Do something that's just hang out, do things that are instructional. I mean, even stuff like if I feel like playing a video game once in a while and stream that.
I've thought
Play,
about like
play something that I've
doing
played before and like just go, start to finish and like for example, like I was talking about Zelda earlier, I haven't played a link.
yeah.
I've played A Link to the Past so many times, but that would be a fun one to like, hey, live stream that one in pieces, like a little bit this night, a little bit another night, and
I
go
thought
through
about stuff like
start
that,
to
but
finish the whole game.
I don't I don't think I want to dedicate that much time to it. Like I thought about doing like crocheting videos
Hmm.
or piano videos, but then I think about it and I'm like, no, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to record the video. I don't want to edit the video. Like I don't want to do that. So I don't.
I would love that if you just do some. Hey, it's Pixie plays the piano. That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
I've thought about it, but like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, but maybe not. Maybe I don't do that. That seems like more work and more time than I want to dedicate to this.
I've always liked it on Mod Show when she would do her, well, sort of kind of like finger painting or whatever that she'd do, but
Oh,
her
I love when
painting,
she does that.
painting live
Her
stream.
pour painting. I
And
love that.
meanwhile, oh yeah, it was pour painting. That was it. And then meanwhile, the rest of us just talk and BS while she's doing her painting.
Yeah, I guess I could do that way, right? Like just come up here and practice piano while everybody chats.
Yeah.
But I don't think I could do like actual videos though, is the thing. Like I don't know. But between work and the pets and crocheting and all that, and learning the piano, just between all of that, I don't think like I want to dedicate any time to like recording and editing and shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is yeah, that's the most important thing. It's got to fit into your schedule and not and not interfere with what you have going on, goals and everything. I get that. I feel the
Maybe
same
after
way
we
about it.
hire this next person and my overtime goes down, maybe I'll feel differently, but I'm just like outside of book club, which I'm behind on so bad because of stuff that I've been dealing with, mostly this insane jaw pain. But I will get back on that soon.
Slacker. Ha, ha, ha.
I know, but it hurts. It's so weird because every morning I wake up, it hurts so bad in like my muscles and everything.
Oh, you wake up with a lot of aches.
Oh no, like in my jaw specifically.
Hello.
And
Iron
then
Sparkle. I don't
hey,
believe we met.
it takes till like 3 or 4 in the afternoon before my jaw starts feeling okay again. And then it starts all over the next day. I have to go see a TMJ specialist. But anyway, that's why I haven't been doing my reading, because by the time I feel my jaw feels okay enough to get to it,
Yeah.
it's already like pretty late in the day, and then everything's noisy around the house, and that's why I haven't been doing it. And I feel bad. I feel really bad. I've got to get back on that. But hopefully this TMJ specialist will give me some good news, and then I can take that news to my next appointment in Dallas, and maybe they can give me better news. We'll see.
All
Fingers
right. I hope
crossed.
so. Yeah. What's TMJ?
I don't know. The people in Dallas were just like, you need to go see these people because of A, what you're describing, and B, the trouble we're having. And we think you have this problem, this disorder thing. And I was like, oh, that's great.
I'd look that up. I'd never heard of that before.
Well, at least you know what you have.
Okay, TMJ means temporomandibular joint.
Okay.
And it would make sense if my joint is not aligned properly because I did have bone grafts in my jaw.
Oh,
Anyway, so yeah, so I have to go see that specialist. Okay. Anyway,
well, I hope that works out.
me too. But
Makes you feel better.
long story short, I will eventually get back to book club. If anybody from book club is here, I'm so sorry, guys.
Yay. I need to catch up anyway. I'm obviously teasing about being slack because there's a lot of them that I missed, and I really ought to go back and listen to your previous live streams and catch up on the book. Because I've actually never read any of the Dark Tower series, and well, I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I mean, a lot of times I would tune in. I don't really know the book, and I don't really know I don't know that world like I know, like say the world of Harry Potter, for example. I haven't read all those books, and but your voice was so nice and so soothing. I'm just like, I'm in just to hear Pixie talk. It's great.
All of Stephen King's books are related, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of his books are related. Like, okay.
All?
You'll never, like, for example, you'll never hear about it in the Dark Tower. It's never going to be brought up. However, if you know about Stephen King's books and his worlds, you know how he fits in. Because who you do hear about in the Dark Tower series is the turtle. Now, if you know anything about the Stephen King universe, the turtle and the entity that becomes known as it are kind of opposites. He is like, the turtle is good and order, and it is he's from
chaotic, really.
Well, he is chaos, but he's not even from, like, how do I explain him? He is from Tadash, and Tadash is like this. Okay, so his world is like a multiverse, right? And all of these multiverses are held together by this Dark Tower. Now, the Dark Tower has a different representation in every world. That's a whole thing.
Okay.
And then you have breakers, and the Crimson King is the big bad guy. Roland is the gunslinger. He's trying to get to the Dark Tower, okay?
Yeah.
In his world. In some worlds, it's a rose. In some worlds, it's a black house. In some worlds, in his world, it's the Dark Tower, right? So, the Crimson King is getting breakers because he's trying to break the beams. He's trying to, like, break the worlds and disrupt them and all of this stuff. And so throughout the series,
multiverse.
Yeah. So throughout the series, you will see characters pop in, like, okay, Ted Brodigan from Hearts in Atlantis. We'll meet him in the Dark Tower series.
Oh, I didn't know that was Stephen King. But then there's works of Stephen King that I didn't even know were Stephen King, like Shawshank Redemption. Until I
in the
saw
Green Mile.
That it was a short story. That it was the whole thing was based on a Stephen King short story.
You know what else Stephen King wrote?
What else?
The Green Mile.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know that was didn't know that was his.
How does 11/22/63 fit into this?
Hold on. Wait, hold on. Back to my point, and we'll get there. Hold on. So back to my point. Also, you have Father Callahan from Salem's Lot. He comes in book 5, Wolves of the Kaya. We go through, it doesn't mention the Stand, but if you pay attention, we go through the world of the Stand in book 4. It even references Abigail. And if you pay really close attention, you figure out that Randall Flagg from the Stand, the bad guy, Randall Flagg, is also
I'm not familiar with the Stand either, but it's okay. That's the thing. But it's okay. I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Okay. Randall Flagg, the bad guy from the Stand, is also known as Martin Broadcloak, is also known as the Man in Black, which is interesting because the first line in the Gunslinger series is the gunslinger, or the Man in Black fled across the desert and the gunslinger followed.
Hmm.
So they all kind of like tie in. And to answer your question, I'm not sure. I'd have to reread it to refresh my memory. But
Hmm.
even if there's not a direct tie-in, there's hints in the book that shows you it fits into his world. Like
Okay.
Green Mile, it's hard to tie in Green Mile except for Coffee's abilities.
Hmm.
And then it makes it obvious. It's the same with Hearts at Atlantis. It's hard to tie in Hearts at Atlantis except for Ted Brodigan. If you pay attention to Ted Brodigan, and if you read the book Hearts in
I didn't know
Atlantis,
that was Stephen
you
King
think
either.
that
Yeah.
if you read the book Hearts in Atlantis, you think that the government is after Ted Brodigan, right?
Hmm.
And that's how it reads. An unmarked black car, government men come in, they take him. It makes sense because it's set in like an MK Ultra time period, where they'd be interested in special abilities. So if you read it just like that, it's like the government came after him. But when you read the Dark Tower series and you see him come in, you realize it's not actually the government, it's low men, and they're kidnapping him because they want to use him as a breaker. But you don't know that if you just read Hearts in Atlantis. You only know that if you read the series. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's. I guess I would have a lot to catch up on, because like I say, I've heard of I've heard of so many of these, like Hearts in
Hey,
Atlantis.
Jay.
I knew that it was a movie from years ago that oh, what's his name?
Anthony Hopkins, because he's one of my favorite actors.
I couldn't think of his name, but yeah, Hopkins. Yeah, I knew he was in it. I didn't know that was a Stephen King story either, though.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting.
One of my favorite Stephen King story, though, wasn't even written as Stephen King. Now, if you go look it up now, it'll say Stephen King, and then in small print, it'll say as Richard Bachman. But he used to have a pen name that he wrote under called Richard Bachman. And so my favorite Stephen King book originally came out under Richard Bachman, and it's called The Long Walk.
Hmm. But you're talking about it like them being, like if they were somehow connected through this multiverse.
They are. Even The Long Walk is.
Like I can imagine it like the story in Shawshank Redemption. We don't really know much about the guy who murders Andy Dufresne's wife and her lover. Just
right.
that
but
Tommy
also
ends up encountering him in prison.
But also it could be just to get somebody out of the way. There's a theory behind that.
Like maybe somehow could it be somebody that went through the Dark Tower, and like stepped into stepped into the world of the Shawshank Redemption through the Dark Tower or something, and with bad intentions or something like that, or or like maybe it ties into the Green Mile somehow, with how the little girls ended up getting murdered.
Well, it's more like there are certain characters in the universe that I wouldn't consider overtly important, right? And I guess it's kind of the same way in everyday life. But that wouldn't mean that they couldn't potentially be important in a scheme of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking at Shawshank Redemption, we have to look at a couple of things. One, where is it set? It is set in Maine.
There's a lot of stuff set in Maine, isn't there?
Right. So what else in his stories is set in Maine? There's Castle Rock, the Broader. There's Derry. Derry is in Maine.
Yeah.
And Needful Things is in Maine. And so
was Pet Cemetery in Maine?
Yes.
Or
so
Stand By Me or Stand By Me, I think was a Stephen King story too.
So the theories are that he was either on cursed ground, right?
Yeah.
Or that he could have been a bigger player that the Crimson King wanted out of the way, or a combination of the two. because he is very smart. It's also about the friendship.
It's all a ploy to get you to read and buy all of Stephen King's books and everything. So
I love his books.
So you can
but
tie
it's
all
also
this together and figure it out. That's it.
That story is a little bit different than his other stories to begin with, anyway, because that story is if you read the story. Somebody asked me me and my friend read that book at the same time, and they said, "So who's the main character?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And they said, "Is the main character Red, or is the main character the other guy?" And I don't think it's either of them on their own. I think the main character is literally the relationship between those two.
Mm-hmm. Red, you talking about in Shawshank between Red and Andy?
Yeah.
And there's also the there's the famous thing with the Shawshank Redemption movie and how it ended up being Morgan Freeman playing Red. Because and he has the line, "Why do they call you Red?" Maybe it's because I'm Irish, because Stephen King originally envisioned an Irishman with very red hair.
Right. Well, I mean, if you see the Gunslinger, if you ever see the movie The Gunslinger, don't compare it to the books. You're not supposed to. And the only way you're not supposed to compare it to the books is if you read the series all the way through. That's the only way. But you can't compare it. But in the books, he's described as Roland is described as like a Clint Eastwood type figure. But in the movie, Idris Elba plays him.
They kind of I've seen the art for one of my nephews was really into the Dark Tower series, and he could tell me all about it, give me the summary. But I remember looking at the artwork on one of the books and it does look a little bit Clint Eastwood ish.
Can you guys do me a huge favor?
Oh, what's that?
Wait, hold on. I've been hit by too many wooden Förderschwarz today, so I don't have anything else to do. Okay, I'm not sure what that is, sir.
I don't know what a Förderschwarz is.
But thanks for telling me I'm last on your list.
I gotta look that one up.
You too, Jay. Thanks for that. But hey, guys, do me a huge, huge favor and keep a conversation going long enough for me to take my dog on a walk.
Förderschwarz.
Okay.
That is leather. It's a leather sword. Oh, so you've been fencing. Okay.
All right, I'll be back.
Reference. Okay. We'll keep it alive. Hello, everybody. I'm your guest host.
I'm some idiot from Jersey.
Well, Iron Sparkle, we haven't talked that much. Tell everybody about yourself.
Well, I believe a lot of people do know about me. Serb and Jay know about me, but I'm from Jersey, the shittiest state in the world, or the U.S. Right now, I'm just chilling out.
But it's the Garden State.
Yeah, well, still, it's a shitty state. I mean, we are so bad. Madagascar 2, it referenced us. The movie, you ever seen Madagascar 2?
Oh yeah, seen the Madagascar. I was trying to where was that? I was trying to think back at where Jersey was referenced in. Isn't that where? Well, no, they were in New York. I thought.
No. Madagascar 2 takes place in Africa. King Julian's Lake. Yeah. So this is New York. Are you sure we're not in New Jersey?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because in the beginning they're all animals in the zoo in New York, and then
that's number one. Then afterwards they get stuck. They get stuck. They get stuck in Madagascar, so they're going to try to escape, but of course that doesn't go very well. The second movie, they get stranded in Africa. Then of course the penguins leave, but then they wind up coming back. It's the Madagascar timeline is a little weird, honestly.
Leaving everybody a note to let them know that we are co-guest hosting until Pixie gets back from walking the dog.
Yep, I'm weird.
But I remember a
Everyone
reference
knows.
in another movie. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I'm just gonna say everyone in the chat knows how weird I am. So
I think because your voice sounds familiar. I think I've heard you on either Missing Mod stream or Gangster Ghost maybe at some point.
yeah, well, I've been around. I'm a stream whore.
That's kind of my thing. Not as much lately, but never actually hosted my own. Just hopped from stream to stream to stream. But I remember you saying what it was, some Sandra Bullock movie. I think it was the one where it might have been Miss Congeniality, where because she's her character in that movie, she's from New Jersey, and so she's going to be in the beauty pageant, and she's like, what are the it's New Jersey is the Garden State, and why do they call it the Garden State? And the line is, I don't know, because oil and petrochemical refinery state wouldn't fit on a license plate.
Well, I mean, they're not wrong.
But I don't know myself. I've never been to New Jersey.
About the only Stephen King books I've read is Stephen King's It. Loves that. He loves the book and the movie. They used to scare the shit. I was scared shitless of the movie when I was younger. Especially the 1990 TV movie. Now there was a movie.
Yeah, I never. I never read the book. I have only seen clips of the original TV movie, but I did go to the theater and see both when the new movie came out. I've seen both those movies, and that version of Pennywise, man, that was a scary fucker. That was. Second one, I actually went to go see it on. I think it was Halloween night back in 2019. It had been out for a while, but I waited until Halloween night that year to actually go sit.
Tim Curry.
I was watching it all by myself.
Tim Curry was a much more terrifying Pennywise. Prove me wrong.
I remember seeing a clip of that one scene where he's I don't know, they're in the library or something.
Oh yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Do you have Prince Albert in a can? Oh, you better let the poor guy
out. Tim Curry. That was definitely a good movie.
Awesome.
I mean, I was scared shitless when I was younger, but yeah.
Another movie I haven't really, but just know of that he was in. When they made a movie out of the board game Clue back in the 80s. I don't know, around 87 or 88, and he was the butler in that movie. I need to go back and find out. You can probably find that one for free on Tubi or something like that.
I was like 3 years old in 88. Well, hold on. I was born in 1984. So around 4, depending on when it came out. But yeah, I was born in 1984. You believe that? I am 41 years old.
I'm not too far ahead of you. I'm, now, I mean, it matters more back then. Age difference was a bigger deal. I'm 50. I just turned 50 last year. I was born in 75.
Really?
And Cerberus mentions, he says, "Toxic Love" is a great song. He's referencing Fern Gully because he was the bad guy in Fern Gully. There's me, Cerberus.
Yeah. But that's from his album. He released a whole album.
Serb,
really?
What's up?
Yeah. Not much. Just
with the Fern Gully album.
No. He had his own.
Toxic Love.
Yeah, he had his own music career.
Oh, okay. Huh. Did not know that. And then, of course, most everybody knows that he was Frankenfurter on the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
He's just a sweet transvestite.
Which I've been told recently, everything about that play is now transphobic.
Of course it is.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah. Well, it could just be that they were just trying to mess with people. They were just trying to,
I mean, the main character is called Frankenfurter.
Yeah. I think that's all it is. Just trying to mess with people. Just trying to get in their heads and prey on people's various prejudices. I can't say that word. Prejudices and issues.
Well, you said it. So.
Kind of like how when rock musicians back in the day, when there was the whole anti-backward masking thing that was going on, and fundamentalist churches everywhere, they were having all these seminars on how the hidden messages in rock music, and some of the artists started deliberately putting things in the songs just to fuck with them. Oh, there's a hidden
it's gonna be so weird. It's gonna be weird if I go to a Rocky Horror Picture Show event in a couple years and it's just a bunch of conservatives.
I've never been to one where I would love to go to an actual performance of where it's traditional, like where they're throwing birdseed at the wedding scene. Frankenfurter comes on and they're throwing hot dogs at the screen and stuff like that. At least it's pretty wild, pretty interesting. I've seen a video recording of one of those lives.
Really, you've never been to a big event?
No, but it really would be cool to go to one, just for no other reason, just to spectate and watch people do all this wild shit while the movie's going on, and quoting the lines back at it and singing the songs and everything, and just acting the whole thing out. That's such a crazy cult following.
Yeah, I went to one. It was great fun.
And since we're staying on Tim Curry for a minute, let's see, what's the next card I had to? Home Alone 2, where he was in Home Alone 2, and he was the what was his role? He was like the hotel manager or whatever. Well,
keep the change, you filthy animal.
Home Alone 2 lost it. Yeah. You've been smooching with everybody. You were smooching with my brother. I'm afraid you're mistaken, sir. And then the gunshots start going off, and then they're all running out of the room.
Tim Curry in Red Alert, though, is peak.
We found your stolen credit card.
Have you ever watched the cutscenes from Red Alert? That's Tim Curry's cutscenes, just like stitched together. They're great.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Not familiar with Red Alert.
It was a RTS game.
Sophia is here. Sophia is my new friend. One of my new friends.
Sophia is me.
Sophia is you?
Yes.
How are you both? How are you on here as Iron Sparkle and you're in the chat as Sophia?
Well, this isn't connected to Google, so
no.
You can make your name whatever you want here. He's also just cross-dressing, basically.
Oh, okay.
Fuck you.
It's okay. When I went to the party, I went to as Columbia.
The old Columbia, America, Columbia. Yeah.
Well, this is Rocky Horror Picture Show, but yeah.
It was, yeah. What was the other woman's name? It was not Magenta. No, what was her name? Something. I can't remember their names now. I'm an old man now. I can't remember.
I'm muted. It has the white stripes. Looks like the Bride of Frankenstein, kind of.
Yeah, she had kind of the red hair, and her and her brother sang the Time Warp together. I forget the characters' names. I know this movie and like I can picture them all in my head, but I'm like I can't remember the damn characters' names.
I can't remember. I remember Frankenfurter and Riff Raff and Columbia and Eddie.
Riff Raff, yeah. Oh, what was the other? I have to look it up because I can't remember what the other lady's name is. Let's see, Janet, Brad, Frankenfurter. Meatloaf was Eddie. Magenta. It is Magenta.
Oh.
Magenta. Well, hey, I remembered. It is Magenta. Magenta and Columbia. Charles Gray was the man who played the criminologist. And of course, Meatloaf was in it. He was Eddie.
Hurry now.
Peter Hinwood was Rocky Horror. So I actually remember the name. I just forgot that I remember the name. It's been so long. I actually haven't watched it in, I can't remember the last time I. Oh, there was a sequel called Shock Treatment. I didn't know that there was a. I didn't know that there was.
I did not know that either.
Seriously? 81 musical comedy Shock Treatment. Who was in that one? Richard O'Brien, who was Riff Raff, he's in that one.
Well,
And the two ladies who played Magenta and Columbia, they're different characters, but they were back.
the only other movie I know the guy that played Riff Raff was in is he's in Dark City.
The criminologist Charles Gray, the criminologist, he's in the sequel, but he plays a judge. Is Shock Treatment a sequel to Rocky Horror? It is a follow-up to the 1975 film The Rocky Horror Picture Show. While not an outright sequel, Shock Treatment does feature characters from the previous film, mostly portrayed by different actors, as well as several Rocky Horror actors in new roles. So kind of a spiritual sequel, even though if not an actual sequel. But that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to go find that sometime. Put that on the list of movies to watch. I did not know that. So what else are we going to talk about, guys? Pixie's still out walking the dog.
Well, who let me in? Was it not Pixie?
What's that?
Who let me in? Was it not Pixie?
No, Pixie did. Yeah, but she had. It was just right as she was going on a walk.
Yep.
Gary Brown says, "Evening to the hostess, mods, chat, and panelists."
So, where are people's odds on Alberta joining the United States?
I'd say I think slim to none.
I think a group had a meeting with Trump.
I think all of Canada is determined to maintain their sovereignty.
I think the way Canada is set up, though, the provinces can leave. Not like the United States.
Well, but that we ended up fighting a civil war over it to determine whether or not states could secede or not. But I don't know. I don't. Is it really in the Constitution? It says that our Constitution explicitly says that they can't. I don't know. I think that came down to a Supreme Court ruling, but I don't know if
the way the Constitution is set up
similar.
Well, the way the U.S. Constitution is set up is the federal government gets powers, then the states get powers, and then all other powers are vested with the people. So if it doesn't say the state can do it, then it can't do it.
But what's explicitly in the or is not explicitly in the Canadian Constitution?
Well, they don't really
have one.
They don't. I might be wrong, but I'm fairly certain no other country actually has a. They have things they call a constitution.
We need Aiden Linden in here to comment on this. He hosted a stream earlier today, so.
Like other countries that have a quote unquote constitution, their constitution can be edited by their government. They don't always have a federal or state, right?
Okay.
But in the United States, the federal, there's a few ways to do it, but no matter what, like the majority of the states have to ratify it. Right, so our federal government can't just change it.
Yeah.
That's like the difference.
Yeah, not because it's with our Constitution, it has to go through for the Constitution to be amended. I'm trying to remember exactly how it goes. It's like
the states can do it themselves.
I think it's a 2/3 majority or something like that it has to pass in Congress, and then it has to be sent to the states for ratification. And then there's a certain number of states that have to state legislatures then that have to sign off on it for it to actually take effect.
And then the states can do it themselves without the federal government.
If enough states like startup initiatives.
Well, no, they call a state convention.
Yeah.
Where the states get together on their own and amend the
That might be how prohibition was passed back in the day. I'm not sure if it started more with the states. Yeah.
Anyway, our Constitution is set up to be a law above the federal government.
Yeah.
Where constitutions of other countries are a law made by their central government.
But if it came down to what the people of Alberta actually wanted, would they actually want to leave Canada anyway and become part of the United States? Because if they don't, then in the long run, it's a moot point.
Every time they do a poll, the number gets higher.
Yeah.
Trump had a meeting with a separatist group in Alberta, and I don't know if the meeting was exactly going to be on, but the rumor is they were looking for funding to fund a referendum to have a vote.
Let's see what I get. I really don't know much about this, but separatist groups in Alberta. This might be one we can ask ChatGPT. Alberta separatism. Okay, from Wikipedia. Alberta separatism comprises a series of 20th and 21st century movements advocating the secession of the province of Alberta from Canada, with some groups supporting creation of a sovereign union with the other provinces of Western Canada, or Alberta joining the United States as a state or territory. So based on this, it's not, if it's saying 20th and 21st centuries, it's not actually a brand new thing.
Yeah, no. Alberta's just
Back to
always
the 30s and 40s even.
Alberta's always been more conservative than the central Canadian government.
Mm-hmm.
And the way our politics is set up in America, we're usually more conservative than Canada. So Alberta's always more similar to us than they are to the rest of Canada. Actually, the western provinces are more similar to us than they are to the rest of Canada.
Yeah. Because a little bit of history, and again, from Wikipedia, foundations. Alberta was established as a province September 1st, 1905. Alberta's separatism comes from the belief that Albertans are culturally and economically distinct from the rest of Canada, particularly central Canada and Atlantic Canada. Separatists often note the fact that Alberta is a net over contributor to the system of equalization payments in Canada. Furthermore, the majority of Alberta's trade flows are north-south with the United States through Montana, rather than east-west with the rest of Canada. And then it goes on to talk about 1930s separatism, the Alberta Social Credit Party, 1940s to 1960s after World War II, monopolies, Alberta Gas, the oil crisis, the oil crises in the 70s. In the 80s and 90s, surge and decline. So I guess it started losing steam. And the idea started, I guess, kind of petering out then. And then resurgence in the late 2010s and early 2020s. It says former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was highly unpopular in Alberta. Highly unpopular in Alberta. After the 2025 federal election, in the lead up to the 2025 federal election, politicians and activists in Alberta voiced that a win for the Liberal Party, which by then had been in power for almost 10 years, would considerably increase support for Alberta's independence. The rise in support for the Liberal Party was in part a response to a call by United States President Donald Trump for all of Canada to be annexed into the United States. While still opposed by the majority of Canadians, support for annexation is greater in Alberta, as some residents see greater cultural and economic connections with the United States than they do with Eastern Canada.
Yeah, they're Canadian Texas.
Canadian Texas?
Yeah.
Well, kind of sounds like it. In June 2023, 3 by-elections were considered important regarding the government of Danielle Smith as well as Alberta separatism. A separatist party, the Republican Party of Alberta, got between 0.67% and 17.66% in these elections. I don't know how significant that is. That sounds like a low number. But their elections are different than ours.
Like yeah, that's right. I think the last time I saw it, it was like between 30 and 40% of people in Alberta would vote to leave Canada. Conservatives are notorious for not answering polls, though. That's sort of...
Well, this one says, according to an Angus Reid poll, 65% of United Conservative Party voters would vote for separation, while 97% of Alberta NDP would vote to stay in Canada. Also, many Albertans polled say they would stop supporting separation if the federal government had more friendly oil and gas friendly policies, such as building pipelines or repealing energy regulations, suggesting the desire to separate is primarily economic in nature, unlike the movement in Quebec.
Yeah, the movement in Quebec is just because they're basically French people.
Yeah.
Well, they're the Napoleon French people. They're
Yeah.
kind of badass.
Yeah, that's a whole other article, the whole Quebec sovereignty movement. Because they're advocating Quebec's independence from Canada. But yeah, there's always been French Canada and British Canada. Or or English Canada, whatever, French speaking versus English speaking. But no, I did not know that it went back that far. I learned something new.
I think our Midnight Sparkle needs like Adderall or something.
Yeah, where'd he go? Yeah, we're trying to keep things going. I have never taken that. I've never been interested in. But then again, I don't have ADD or ADHD, so I think it's mainly prescribed for that.
Yeah. Well, if you don't have that, it's just meth. It's basically just meth. So if you don't have ADHD or something and you take it, you're just going to be just jacked up.
Yeah, what would actually? I mean, I'm not interested in actually trying it, but what would actually happen?
It'd be like if you smoke meth, you just be super hyperactive. You would have an insane amount of energy.
It'd be pretty wild. I've taken I've not tried that, but I have tried some of the Delta 8 and Delta 9 gummies.
Well, that's kind of the opposite effect.
Yeah, but I like those. I don't do that very often. It's been a while since I've done that, but
I mean, a lot of rich people, right? College students that don't have ADHD will take it because it gives you a lot of energy. Donald Trump was famous for being caught with it in his desk. It's a very abused drug.
The Specialist 444 says, "Oh boy, is the Fallout game universe history starting to actually happen?" And he also says they actually annexed Canada in the game lore.
Well, no. If they leave Canada and then want to join us, that's totally different. In Fallout, America annexed Canada to fight off the Russians and Chinese. Actually, I think it was just to fight off the Chinese.
I'm not familiar because I never played that game, or anything in the Fallout series.
Well, communism bad.
Yeah.
And America good.
Communism,
and America have giant robot. And Canada in the way.
You must return to your. I'll always remember. I'm a Star Trek: The Next Generation fan, and I'll always remember Encounter at Farpoint when Picard and the crew meet Q for the first time, and he at first he appears in it's kind of I don't know, how would you describe the costume that he appeared in, but he's basically speaking in Old English, and he's saying, "Captain, thy little centuries go by so rapidly. Perhaps thou would be more familiar with this." And then poof, and he changes into it's like a post-World War II American Army uniform. He said, "Actually, the issue here is patriotism. You must return to your world and put an end to the commies. All it takes are a few good men." Commies always bad.
I'm not really sure how you would describe how he's dressed in there to start with. Has like that big, heavy black, like a robe on.
Yeah, it's almost I almost want to say it's like a mercantile type costume or something. Like he's an old merchant or something.
Well, the hat style is like.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, the hat style is like Inquisitor, like a medieval Inquisitor's hat.
Oh,
but I don't know about the rest of it.
In the courtroom scene, yeah, like where he puts Picard and the Enterprise crew on trial. But like in the very beginning, though, it like, let's see, I got to look up John Delancey, or Delaney. No, Delancey. Let's spell it. Oh, it's just John Delancey. I can't type tonight. Q encounter at Farpoint.
Okay, so I'm back for a little bit, but I don't know for how long. We got the walk down, but they do need a bath at some point.
Okay.
How's everyone doing?
We wandered into a bunch of different topics. We were talking about the possibility of Alberta in Canada, the province of Alberta separating.
As likely as it is for Texas to secede.
Yeah, yeah.
Although it seems that gerrymandering might have backfired because it was not a Republican that won the special election.
But Texas is the Lone Star. They never actually rejoined the Union, don't you know?
Well, actually, they did. They did, and they did with special perks. Like, Texas is the only state that can fly its flag as high as the United States flag as long as it stays to the left. Texas can divide itself into 5 different states. Technically, Texas reserved the right to secede from the Union. I just don't think they'll ever manage it. There's a few other perks.
See, that's what I wondered about.
But that's because Texas was the only state to independently fight a war in order to be annexed.
Yeah.
Well, any state can fly their flag that way. And Texas lost its ability to split into multiple states when they left the Union and then was forced back into the Union. And they also...
Hold on.
To split into...
Oh, I'm sure people in Texas will claim it. But... And then they lost the right to secede when they decided to ratify the Constitution.
Okay, you're right about that one. But yes, they can still split into 5 states.
I know that's in the treaty.
But hold on. You're right that they lost the ability to do it without congressional approval. Before they had the ability to do it without congressional approval, and now they have to have congressional approval in order to do it.
It will be challenged because it's unconstitutional.
Does that make sense, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever get it done.
I think the court will just overturn it.
It's technically still there on paper, just with more stipulations.
Why would they break up into different Texases, though?
Well, I mean, back then,
an incentive to do that.
A long time ago, a lot of people divided by like jobs and stuff. And if you look at Texas is huge. I mean, it is insanely massive. Even after, and that's after giving some of its land away. It gave land to like 4 different states. So even after giving land away, it is insanely massive. But if you look at Texas geography, it's actually quite interesting. So you have North Texas isn't even the top of Texas. North Texas is, if you're looking at Texas, looks more like Central Texas. So give me a second. The top of Texas, you have the Panhandle. The Panhandle is also called the High Plains. And we're close to a canyon. And it's a lot of, there's the carbon black plant. There's the nuclear plant. There's some colleges. And then it's a lot of agriculture, a lot of farming and ranching and things like that. You get down into the Great Plains. It's a lot of the same stuff, except small towns, no real cities. All right, so if you go to West Texas, you get dry. You get El Paso, you get all of that. If you go to East Texas, you get a lot of flat pine forests, lots and lots of forests. If you go to North Texas, that's going to be like your Dallas-Fort Worth area. Very green, but without a lot of the humidity, still pretty temperate. And then you go to South Texas and you've got Austin and San Antonio and all of that. And they're very like port-based cities. So it's very diverse, and not just like the cultures are very diverse in this region, but like how people make a living, how they look at society, what's good for them versus what's not good for them is very, very different between regions.
I was just going to go with they wanted to have the ability to randomly gain 8 more senators.
That too. But you got to be careful because you can gain more senators, but you'll lose seats in the House.
Yeah.
But then there's no guarantee that the senators that they gain, that they would all necessarily be, Republican Party locks for the Republican Party every time. It might actually be fairly split.
Well, you never know. I mean, look at the way the gerrymandering in Texas backfired. They gerrymandered when they shouldn't have. They gerrymandered in the middle of the term instead of at the end of 10 years. After we had already settled on new maps, they went and gerrymandered again. But who won the special election? Who won the special election in district? Was it District 9?
Oh, didn't this just happen over the weekend?
Yes, the Democrat won by far in a district that was
district.
It was plus 17 for Trump.
Yeah,
and a Democrat won. So who knows what that gerrymandering did?
It's probably a sign of things to come. That unless they really try to, they, of course, being the MAGA Republicans, try to do something to subvert and prevent the election later on this year from taking place and from a transition happening in Congress. I would be willing to bet that it's going to be very bad for the Republicans. Horrendously bad. They're going to lose a lot of seats with the way things are
Maybe.
going.
I don't know. I'm calling the exact opposite.
Well, maybe it's just my hope that they lose a lot, but I'm hopeful.
We have a progressive party that just won't stop trying to dive into niche politics.
I don't think either side is doing very good. One side is all culture war bullshit, and the other side is all like police state trigger happy. One's annoying, but which one's a threat?
I don't know. I think they're both threats.
And how's the pro-gun party going to say only criminals would have guns on the street, and the No Wars president is trying to infiltrate Greenland? I think the funniest thing I heard was, we've been trying to get Greenland for 150 years. No, we weren't. One politician made one pass at it a long time ago. That's it. That's not us trying to get Greenland for 150 years. This is ridiculous.
No, I think it was twice. There was one.
It was Grant. Ulysses S. Grant made a bid for it, and they told him no.
Yeah, but there was another time when the Nazis took over mainland Europe.
Still, that's not us trying to get Greenland for 150 years. That's a ridiculous statement. Can you imagine?
We were like, give us
Lincoln's
Greenland,
like,
and they were like,
Lincoln is like, our biggest concern is Greenland. Give me Greenland.
Yeah, I know it's part of Denmark, but I don't know when it actually became part of Denmark.
It doesn't matter.
It's been a while.
Denmark can't give Greenland away. They can't. They can't give Greenland to anybody without the express permission of the citizens of Greenland. Nah, it's written. If we
yeah,
if it is
Yeah, it's
part
written.
of their constitution, and Greenland and the people of Greenland will never do it because they have no concept of like they have a very native outlook on some things in some ways, in my opinion, but they don't actually own the land. They don't own the land, and they're not actually interested in money. So they're like, A, we don't own the land, so we're not going to sell it to you. And B, like, why am I going to give up free education and free healthcare
Free
for
healthcare.
your stupid crap? We're not going to do it. And so it's not really up to Denmark at this point unless they want to do it illegally. And I'm against imperialism in general, so
I think the hundreds of thousands of dollars they all get would probably make up for the free health care.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
I doubt it.
It really doesn't. You spend way more than that on education and healthcare, especially if you have kids. They are not interested. They have made it clear they are not interested. They don't even have the type
The
of
number keeps on
culture-
going up every time I look at it. The number
They
keeps
don't
on
even-
going up.
They don't have the type of culture where they would overwhelmingly be interested.
And their support's growing the most amongst the native population, not the transplants.
Out of fear, maybe.
Well, no, the native population wants to leave Denmark in the first place.
You know, I don't trust things like yeah, somewhat, but I don't trust a lot of those polls anymore, especially after I found out what happened in the Donbass region from people in the Donbass and not all these people telling everybody what happened. Like that ballot, what they said, what was reported was on the ballot was not what was actually on the ballot.
Oh, well, yeah, of
which
course.
is why a lot of those results got so very skewed.
Yeah, you can't trust a poll. You can't trust an election, let alone a poll done in a place. In the first place, where everyone that would have voted against the outcome was essentially forced to flee in terror.
Well, it wasn't even that.
Start
A lot of people thought so from somebody who was there, when they were told that the ballots were going to say, stay a part of Ukraine, become independent, or become part of Russia. And nobody wanted to become part of Russia or become independent, because if they chose to become independent, Russia was going to take them over anyway. But when the ballots came, their only choices were join Russia or become independent. Not to mention who it was delivered to their house by, which is a whole nother problem. But nobody said that in the reports, not the pro-Russia side, not the anti-Russia side. No, nobody said that. I heard that from I heard that from more than one person in a refugee camp, and their kids who they had gotten into foreign exchange programs for students, and were in the process of trying to give the American parents temporary custodianship because they didn't want their kids returning to a refugee camp. So I don't really trust the reporting anyway, whether you're for them or against them, because that's a big fucking discrepancy between what the world heard and what these people are saying happened in their homes.
Yeah, so this is different though. This isn't an occupied territory from a
Yet.
hostile force.
Yet, but we want it to be. So I don't know. I'm skeptical on a good day. I'm extra skeptical when people are playing imperialistic bullshit.
Well, I'm not skeptical because the number's still below 50%.
I'd kind of like to jump back into the Greenland thing for just a minute, y'all, if y'all don't mind, because again, going back, I'm reading some stuff on Wikipedia, and in this article it says, since World War II, the U.S. has had at least one military base in Greenland. In 1946, the U.S. secretly offered to buy Greenland, but it was rejected by Denmark. Since 1949, Greenland has been under the protection of NATO, of which the U.S. and Denmark are both members. And then it goes on to start talking about supposedly the U.S. has long seen Greenland is vital for the defense of the mainland and whatever in a hypothetical war but that also that if we were to annex Greenland, that it would effectively end NATO, which is, which is quite curious.
You know what's funny about NATO is I get that Americans put in the most. I get that we put in more to NATO than the other countries do. But when they complain about NATO and how ineffective NATO is, it cracks me up because the only time NATO has made a move to deploy was to back up the US. NATO is the reason Australia and the UK were in Iraq with us. So I'm like, who got the benefits? Who got the benefits? Because
Australia isn't in NATO, for one.
No, well, no, but them working with England is why they went. But
NATO didn't show up. It was like a couple of our closest allies showed up. The only time NATO's deployed is in the Balkans.
Oh, that's true. But still, for us.
Well, I would like to think it was for the people of the Balkans.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but of course, there's the NATO connection between why Vladimir Putin ended up invading Ukraine. He did not want Ukraine.
No, that was an excuse. That was an excuse, and it pushed up his timeline. But if you listen to Putin and his rhetoric going back decades, everybody knew it was always going to get here. First of all, he's constantly touting that philosopher guy. What's that philosopher guy's name? Anyway,
I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
That philosopher said that the biggest travesty of the 20th century was the breakup of the USSR. He also he like that philosopher, Putin has also long argued that he wants the USSR back together, and B, he argues that it's the only way to protect Russia because it protects all invasion access points into Russia, amongst other things. But he was always going to move to get the USSR back together, period.
Yeah, you have to get Ukraine and like 4 other countries to control all the access points.
Estonia, he'd have to get Ukraine, Estonia, Latvia, part of Poland, and Belarus, right?
Well, he has to get everything up into the mountains.
Yeah,
in the middle of Europe.
Interesting.
Every time Russia's been invaded, it's been across that corridor. That's why he wants it.
The Batman is here. Maybe he wants to weigh in on some of this. Maybe he's got some thoughts.
The Batman is stuffing his face right now.
How you doing? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. I am suffering a really, really bad migraine. Yeah.
You come on here?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this is not going to help a migraine.
Nah, I mean, at least you guys aren't like yelling or anything like that. But I came to show some love.
Yeah, we'll be civil.
To my buddy Pixie, and Beerus, and Mr. Serb. But yeah, I actually got out of bed after like pretty much spending the whole day in bed to eat something, and I saw that Pixie was on, so.
Oh.
Yep.
Glad you joined us.
Hey, real quick, Batman. I have a couple questions, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Was it you that told me you get leg cramps?
Leg cramps?
Yeah, like pains in your leg.
No, I have jumper's knee in my right.
Oh, it's jumper's knee. Okay, something different. Okay, I was worried for a second. Never mind.
Yeah, why are you worried?
Some people that get pains in their legs and then end up eventually getting bad headaches. Sometimes they're the people that get blood clots in their legs and get strokes and not know that it happens.
Oh shit!
Don't make me yell at my friend. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying so hard, but just the sound, it came one too many times.
I thought you like stepped away for a little bit.
No, I
My
was
bad.
right. I was literally like clenching my jaw and grinding my teeth, and all my jaw pain started coming back because I have jaw pain. That's why I have to go see the TMJ specialist because I have jaw pain and it lasts like almost all day. And then I finally start feeling better, and I noticed I was clenching my jaw
Uh-oh.
so hard that it was starting to hurt again. And I was like, I have to say something now. Sorry, I'm sorry.
We're on uncomfortable topics.
No, the sound of eating makes me irrationally angry. And
Oh, okay.
this is something that happens in my real life too. You can ask the people around me. It drives them crazy.
Chewing.
You have no idea how many times somebody has just left by my office door feeling absolutely dejected because I'm like, can you swallow first? Why do you have something in your mouth? Come back when snack time is over.
Oh.
Like, I can't.
That's interesting.
I just want Columbia to be the American mascot again.
You
I'll
mean
vote for
God?
whoever says they're doing that.
Columbia
mean
from Rocky
goddess?
Horror.
Wait,
Yeah, the
wait,
goddess.
wait.
Yeah.
You mean goddess?
Yeah.
Sure, let's make her the American goddess again.
Yeah. Like the lady from Columbia Pictures. You know, the intro. That Columbia.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
as in-
That's why it's Columbia Pictures.
It's also why it's British Columbia.
Well, that's more generally just that's named after Columbus specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
actually,
is she in a way.
I didn't know there was actually a
Yeah.
goddess Columbia. I thought I always thought that it was. I had never really looked that up. I thought it was always that the root of it was Christopher Columbus.
No, it's like when every country had their own god.
Hmm.
Yeah, Britannia
Like
was the
patron.
British
Yeah,
version.
Britannia.
Well,
We
that's
had
interesting.
Columbia.
Okay.
I'm forgetting the name of the German one, but she's in the that last big I'm forgetting Rammstein video.
These are things that I have to catch up on, educate myself on now that I'm an older adult, because these are not things that we were taught in fundamentalist Christian school when I was growing up.
Is it her name? Is it her name just Germania?
Yeah, it might be Germania. You might be right.
I think it is Germania. There's Germania, Britannia, Columbia. Yeah.
The French had one too. It's not as simple as the other ones.
Of course not. I'm gonna look up theirs. What was the French equivalent?
Oh,
I think something that would blow your Christian mind.
But I've seen a
Marianne.
Marianne.
Marianne is the French.
Yo, I have to take a break for about 5 to 10 minutes. I'll be right back.
No, I was going to tell you something that would have blown your old Christian mind.
Oh, well, tell me real quick.
Oh, there's the statue of Columbia on top of Congress.
Oh.
And it takes an act of Congress to build a building taller than the goddess.
You
had to have a law passed.
Interesting.
In fact, I think there's only one building that's taller than it, and I think it's the Washington Monument.
Oh, okay. That is interesting. I didn't know that. A lot
the
of
French name there's
there.
Marianne. That's hilarious. We've got Germania, Columbia, Britannica, and Marianne.
Right.
I'll be back, guys.
Okay.
I was just Bob Marley.
Well, the only thing I can think of that comes off the French is Frank.
I'm never gonna get over Marianne. I guess it's Marianne. It's Marianne.
Huh?
Marianne? Is it Marianne?
I'm not sure how a French person would pronounce it. I'm sure we're pronouncing it wrong.
Probably. Marianne? I don't know. I'm gonna ask how to pronounce.
I don't even want Columbia to come back as a mascot. I want an anime made about Columbia where she's like a kaiju fighting other kaijus.
Why does this say I have to pronounce it with a guttural sound?
Because it's French.
Okay, you say something somewhat guttural with Marian. Or Marian. And something's guttural in there somewhere. And I don't know where to put that.
Just put the name in Google and right after
Oh,
it puts
the
the word
R.
pronounce.
It says a soft guttural R in Marian. But what does a soft guttural R sound like?
What is type in the name and put pronounce and then Google it. And usually there's a video that will tell you that will pop up that tells you how to
Oh,
pronounce it.
okay.
Or sometimes they'll just have a button you can push there on the Google page that will say it.
Hold on, I'm going to take this off my headphones and then play it.
Marianne.
Oh, I guess that's it.
Marianne.
It almost sounds like an H, I guess.
It's kind of come back around to sound like Marianne. Just
Yeah. Anyway, that was random. Sorry.
I'll have to write a song.
A song about what?
Columbia. She used to have a song.
Oh,
It's just super outdated now.
well, so is the national anthem.
Yeah, but the national anthem still sounds good. A lot of those other older songs just don't. They're not constructed very well.
Is that the like Columbia, the gem of the ocean song?
That might be a lot. The title's Columbia Rise, I think. Yeah, there's a bunch of just like things like that in there.
Oh, there's an iconic quote unquote folk song called "Roll On Columbia, Roll On."
Yeah, that is.
I don't
not
think I've
the one
ever
I'm
heard
talking
of
about.
this. No, here's
Oh.
Rise Columbia. There we go. Oh, yeah, definitely outdated. It almost sounds like Yankee Doodle Dandy or something. Interesting. There we were, now here we are. All this confusion, nothing's the same to me. There we were, now here we are. What? I can't tell you the way I feel because the way I feel is oh so new to me. Oh, it skipped to a different song. I was like, that can't be right. Sorry.
I couldn't.
And I'm back. Hi.
How did you get there?
Yeah.
I finally got this washing machine to do what I told it to do instead of it just doing what it wanted to do with my clothes. They're just constantly rinsing and spinning. It finally spun them out. I have one kilt that's machine washable, and I guess that was the one thing that I put in there that threw the whole cycle off.
What am I listening to, sir?
It's a song that's older than the national anthem. I'm telling you, it's not made very well.
Yeah, I mean, it's talking about, what did it say? Something about the land and virgin breasts or something? I don't know. I have to go back. Hold on.
I can barely hear that.
Well, she's not sharing it. I think she's just
Hold on.
trying
gonna
to
see if I
figure it
can-
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sharing it. I was just trying to figure it out. Sorry. Yeah, see, the earth unveiled her virgin breasts. Supreme mid something abode. Oh, Supreme Mid Nature's vast abode.
By the way, that means welcomed.
Was
It's not
heard
it's
by
not
the
it's not dirty.
Almighty. So what was heard by the Almighty's dread behest?
Rise Columbia is what was heard by the Almighty's in his
Dread
dread.
behest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
We got the brave and free in there. Poised the globe and bound the sea. But we got the brave and free in there. Interesting. I'm going to have to look into that later. Thanks for that rabbit trail.
You're welcome. I'm going to have to rewrite most of that song, obviously.
I would love to hear your reinterpretation of it.
I already know the first line of the chorus. It's just Rise Columbia, Rise.
Serb, you should be proud of me. I'm learning the piano.
Oh, cool. The piano is the first thing everyone should learn.
Actually, I think
musically.
the first thing everyone should learn is sign language while they learn vocabulary and spelling.
I mean musically.
I don't know. It's actually kind of hard.
Yeah.
Because when you read music like as a singer or as like a trumpet player or as something, right? Like you see the note as the note. E is E and A is A. But if I look at like E, right? I've got to think, okay, my left hand is E and my right hand is, what is it? It's B, E and F and G sharp. Yeah, B, E and G sharp. And you have, you know?
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's why I think if you can learn piano, that more or less sets you up to just understand the music, regardless of the instrument.
I'm getting kind of okay. Sort of. I still sometimes lift my foot on the pedal too early, though.
I mean, you could cheat and just get a keyboard.
I have a keyboard, but I got a pedal for it.
Oh, okay.
Well, because I want the resonance. I want the carryover, right? Like, I want the sustain pedal. But it's like when I get good at a piece, then my foot lifts and falls naturally. But when I'm learning a piece, I have to be careful not to learn bad habits, because if I'm half a second too slow in my transition or something, then my foot lifts from the pedal right before I push down on the new chord instead of when I'm pushing down on the new chord, and it throws the whole thing off.
May I get you guys' opinion on something that I found on Reddit?
Oh.
Sure.
So, so I'm sure everyone here has Googled something at some point, right? But like, have you ever used Google for anything outside of just like searching for something? Like use it for calculation, or or to break down like an equation, like stuff like that? Have you guys ever used it for anything like that before?
How about the AI, like Google AI?
No.
I'm
just talking like even before
Yes.
the AI stuff came out, because Google was able to do all of that stuff before all the AI, the large language models came out.
Well, to break it down, what do you mean? Like, okay, for example, one time I spent a long time on a macro and everything was pulling right except this one field.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I made like some mistake in there, but but I did not have time to go search for that tiny mistake in all that data. So I fed that into Google, and Google said, oh, this is where your equation's messed up. Go fix that. And so I went and fixed it, and then everything pulled correctly like that.
Yes.
Talk about within a workspace. A Google Workspace?
Yeah, I mean, like it doesn't matter. Like, just have you just like have you used it to do anything outside of searching? Because like the reason I'm bringing this up is because I recently came across like, take for example, whenever I'm like doing Bible study and I'm writing these papers or whatever, right? I I Google everything, right? And so um sometimes my searches have to be like super specific because it'll just give me like generic responses, right? And so I have to now check the sources for each of these results that it'll give nowadays. Like, it'll give you these summaries and it'll link the sources. And sometimes the sources aren't official, so now you're gonna have to change the way how you search, right? So that's something that's always been around. Even the way how you would speak to it, right? Just the way how ChatGPT operates, that's kind of been around for a very long time. It wasn't as powerful and as fast as it is now, but you were always able to at least essentially talk to like a language model, right? And have conversations and stuff like that and come up with ideas. So I came across this post, and it's posted in the a subreddit called Large Language Model Physics, and it's basically where people use Chat GPT or whatever to come up with ideas to solve problems, right? So I want to read this kind of short post that someone made. And you guys let me know what you think, right?
Mm,
I thought maybe for a minute you were kind of talking about like advanced forms of Google foo, basically, like just being really really good at certain kinds of searches and being really clever with it.
Oh,
But,
real quick though,
yeah, but go
uh,
ahead with what you're. I didn't mean to interrupt what you were going to tell
but
us.
Pixie, can you turn his mic up a little bit? Because
Yeah, it's a little low.
for me, he's lower than everyone else.
Yeah,
Is this better?
a little bit better.
A
It's still kind of
little
low.
bit, but yeah, not a lot.
Oh, my bad.
I don't think it's a your fault
He's
thing.
all the way up. I have him all the way up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, let me see if there's anything I can change on my end. Um,
So you go into your audio settings in StreamYard and turn off the adjust microphone volume,
oh yeah, I should
and then turn it
probably
all
do
the way
that.
up.
Yeah, it's already off.
Is it turned up though?
Yeah, my mic volume is maxed out.
Hmm.
You could try reduce mic background noise too.
Are
Like check
you
that box.
are you talking into the right microphone? Because it's honestly kind of what it sounds like.
I think I am. I don't have any other microphones plugged in right now.
Hmm.
Um,
Mine has an auto adjust setting.
yeah, it probably does. This is a new headset that I got recently, so maybe I need to go and mess with the settings a little bit more, and figure it out.
Hmm. I mean, it's not so bad. I can't hear what you're saying. It's just
We'll just focus a little bit more. We'll just listen closer.
All right.
Maybe I should
Um,
lower everybody's mic volume and then you can all turn your headphones up.
that actually could work.
Okay, let me try that. Hold on.
I actually could plug in my Bluetooth headset. I might hear a little bit better. But I don't know if that'll affect my audio when I'm talking.
Oh, I can't edit Slacks for some reason. It says no. His
Damn,
is
he's
grayed
got
out. So is yours, Serbs. Yours
That's
and
weird.
I can edit mine and I can edit Batman's, but you guys is yours. The thing is grayed out.
Huh.
Where is the microphone settings on this thing?
Oh wait, now it's back. Now it's gone. Maybe it's because you're looking at it.
Oh, I no, it's because I had it muted. Try that. Try now.
Oh, okay. Now I can mess with it.
What about there? Mine's unmuted too.
Ah.
Okay, let me go back.
Okay, I lowered everybody, so maybe we can all just turn our headphones up now. I don't think Serb is quite as low. I put me and Slack at 50. I don't know what I put Serb at.
How do I sound? I look like I'm quieter on the thing.
Okay, hold on. Now you're at 50.
I can hear you
Okay.
perfectly fine.
All right, so everybody can just turn up their headphones, and I think maybe we're a little more even now.
I'm gonna try plugging my Bluetooth headset that I have in just a second. Take it off my phone and put it over here.
I understand though. It's always because then I have to turn it up to hear somebody, but then I feel like somebody else is yelling at me.
Mute out for just a second.
Okay.
See, now when I figure out the step that I'm missing to stream through OBS, that shouldn't be a problem anymore though. Because when I add you to OBS, it evens all that out.
Ooh. Oh, so that's what I...
Now he's gonna figure it out, and everything's gonna be for naught.
Okay.
Probably not, to be honest with you.
I still feel like we're more even now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you way better. I turned my volume up.
Can you guys hear me any better now?
Yeah.
Or
yeah, we can hear
well,
you.
I turned everybody down except Batman. I left his at full volume. And then I put all of us on 50. So I feel like if you just turn your headphones up, everybody's even. Or a little more even.
I hear y'all a lot better now. But is my voice quality good?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So,
yeah, I hear Batman a lot better now.
So this subreddit, it's basically called Large Language Model Physics, and it's basically a subreddit where people have a bunch of ideas or whatever, or they're bored, and so they'll ask their large language model to kind of program something that they think is correct, right? And then they'll like post it. And there's like this epic battle going on between, the people who use large language models like completely to come up with ideas, right? And the people who are, I guess trained in physics or whatever, right? People who have degrees in physics. And the back and forth sometimes in this subreddit is hilarious. But anyways, this post kind of catches my eye. So it says this. It says the race to a theory of everything. With so many papers zooming closer to a working theory of everything, you'd think these guys would be at each other's throats. Cranks, you do realize you're spending time on here saying poof, do you even have a PhD? Meanwhile, another crank is prompting their large language model for a theory of everything, and probably the same large language model you use. If you genuinely believe that large language models can solve the universe and propel you to the halls of physics greatness, I would rethink how you spend your time. You're probably going to be annoyed when you see the post Theory of Everything real made at the same time you were busy saying, bruh, I'm the next Einstein. You probably are just an undergrad. I don't know about you, but that would make me feel a bit cheated, knowing if only I could have been the one that prompted at 9, I don't know why he gives a specific number, at 9:27 p.m. on March 3rd, I could have been the one to solve physics. That lucky dude is going to be having an interview at CERN, getting the Nobel Prize. You're going to be seething. It could have been you if you only hadn't felt the need to say, I don't see any real physics in your criticism. Get it together, guys. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
And this is a Reddit article, you say?
Yeah, so it's a post on Reddit.
You said Reddit article, and I wanted to pull my hair out.
Oh no! It's a post somebody made.
When he said article, in combination with Reddit.
Oh, okay.
I actually love reading Reddit articles sometimes, but it's very much like any other social media place. It is a place for a lot of nonsense.
I downloaded Reddit one
some
time. I
guy-
spent 5 minutes there, and then I never went back.
Reddit is just 4chan without blackjack and hookers. Okay.
I don't know. I just never went back. It just was never gonna happen. I barely make it to Discord. Every now and then, and only recently. I hadn't even been on my own Discord in like a year. Now I just go to say hey to Mod.
So
When
what
I-
do you
Fridays.
guys?
when I first started my distilling hobby, I joined Reddit and jumped out on the Firewater community to just introduce myself and talk about what I was doing, and just to meet other people that were into the hobby. And I started I did a couple of posts, and I posted about what I was doing, and I got a mix of good advice. I got a mix of bad advice. I got much better advice on the topic talking to ChatGPT and being very specific with ChatGPT. I got, but it rather than some, because it's such a mixed level of expertise out there. Anybody can. And people can get on there, and it sounds like this guy just really wanted to flex on everybody in the community in the post that you just read.
Yeah, it's a very strange situation in this subreddit. Because, so here's the thing, right? You have people who are students, or people who work in a particular field, who are educated, right? And they come on here and they see like these, crackpot ideas, right? These theories, right? And like, if you've been through the schooling,
not really
right,
theories necessarily, not,
like you have a set criteria in terms of what someone needs to do in order for something to be taken seriously, right? And so, I think so here's the thing, right? I think the problem is twofold. I think the problem with this community is that you have educated people who are basically turning their nose up at uneducated people, because uneducated people
snobbery.
are basically trying to do something that, as far as you being educated on, is very different. But not only that, They're basically trying to take the shortcut of using a large language model, right? Now, the other people, right, the uneducated people, they're completely dependent on the large language model, meaning they don't go and learn even like the basics.
If they don't know the physics,
Yeah, right. Like they don't know even the basic stuff, and so they'll take whatever the large language model spits out, and they'll like post it and be like, see, this is the case. And whenever they get criticized or asked certain questions, they start acting like babies, saying, "Oh, just because you got your degree."
Wait. Have we not learned? Have we not learned that AI will lie to us constantly, all the time? Have we not learned this?
I mean, it
it
depends.
does have to be fact checked. Yeah.
You do have
No,
to. You
it
do have
does.
to
It
fact
does
check
lie to us all the time, to everyone. Yes, it does.
Well, and more importantly, AI. I think it's it kind of it particularly Chat GPT. Sorry, I'm trying to gather my thoughts here a little bit, but sounding a little inarticulate. But Chat GPT in particular is like it's trying to please you with its answers, and I think it's going to base a lot of the answers that it gives you off of your previous responses to it and inputs.
Not
Whereas
just
if
that.
if you started with it, yeah.
I mean, not just that, but it's absolutely provable because it will give person A a different answer to the same question as it gives person B, because it's not about the facts, right? And if you can ask it a question and it's going to go out there and it's gonna pull all the material that it can find on it, but that doesn't mean the material it's pulling is accurate.
Yeah, that's true, but that's the whole point of it, right? Like what it basically tries to do is to engage you and to give you as much information based on all the information that's available to it.
Yes.
Now there's constraints on it, right? There's just certain things it's just not going to search probably, right? Like
it also will take
heinous
credit for
things.
everything. It also will take credit for everything.
It just depends on the model you use, because they're all kind of programmed differently.
Who was that professor that almost lost his job because he failed his entire class because when he put their stuff into ChatGPT, ChatGPT took to check for plagiarism. ChatGPT took credit for all of them and said they were all plagiarized from ChatGPT.
Oh, so basically,
Wow.
so what that is,
That's
so
interesting.
a lot of schools and companies, they're using these, like a version of ChatGPT to read something to determine if it was written by AI. Now, there's a glaring problem with that, right? Because like, let's say you write a paper and you're a professional at writing papers and you write a professional paper, and mind you, those models are trained based off of what the professionals are supposed to do to write a professional paper.
It has access to all these professional papers.
Yeah, like the rules, regulation, it has access to all of that. So when it reads something that is just really good, like it was written in a perfect way, right? It'll look at it and be like, this is written by AI, because it assumes that humans, right, aren't going to be able to articulate themselves in a quote unquote perfect way. So
I do pretty well with words, thank you.
right? Right? So now you run into a situation where someone can someone might like write a paper, right? And they might hire someone to like write it out to where it's like professional and meet all the necessary requirements to be published, right? And it'll get fucking flagged. And the only way it's not going to get flagged is if you are part of a registered organization. If you are a independent researcher,
Look, I'm just saying, if you put a bunch of grad students' papers into the system to check for plagiarism, and the system says, "Yep, not only is that plagiarized, but I wrote all those," there's something wrong with it, and it's a liar, liar.
That is pretty wild that it would do that. And specifically, ChatGPT did this.
Let me check. I want to say it was ChatGPT, but it could have been a different AI. Hold on.
Because because there have been other stories too. Like, I get what you're saying about it lying, because there was the story about the
it was ChatGPT. ChatGPT wrongly claimed it wrote their papers. Yes.
Oh.
So ChatGPT was a liar, liar.
There were a lot of There were a lot of complaints when ChatGPT 5.0 came out. A lot of people were not happy with how it was working and what they were getting out of it. And I had heard the famous example of I don't know what state it was, and I don't know what legal practice, but the story was, you have to go look up the story, but the story was, it was a couple of lawyers that were doing research on cases for, they were preparing to go in front of the judge and, cite all these cases, all these legal precedents for whatever it was that they were arguing. And they leaned very heavily on ChatGPT for that. And it gave them fictitious cases that basically made up bogus cases that didn't actually exist. And they didn't bother to proofread and fact check any of that. And they took it before the judge, and they got in deep trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can hallucinate information, like if you're not careful.
That's what I'm saying. It's a liar, liar.
Citation needed on this. Let's see.
That's what I'm saying.
You can there are certain commands that you can give them to avoid certain things, but if you don't know the commands to, take for example, Google Gemini and one other one, they have a specific command that you can tell them to do, like a fact check, right? Or you can tell them to cite their sources. Or you can have it do a hallucination check, and it'll have, like, do some kind of programming stuff and check to see if it's hallucinating, and it'll let you know if it is, right? And it'll, like, apologize and like, well, this is not correct, blah blah blah, So, like, they can absolutely lie. And they can definitely give incorrect information.
I found the news article. It's from Reuters, and I'm going to post it in the chat. But it was a couple of lawyers from New York.
Well, I'm not surprised, of course.
It said comment.
And I exaggerated. He didn't fail his. He didn't fail his whole class. He allegedly failed a little over half his class because ChatGPT said, "Yep, I wrote those."
Jesus,
it's not letting me post this link. I don't know why.
That's because you're not cool.
Maybe
you know why I heard about it? Now I know why I heard about it, because I googled it and it was Texas A&M. Not Super Munchkin School, so that's okay.
I will say though, I really enjoy using their, like, giant calculator, because that's all that it really is. It's just a super powerful fucking calculator that you can plug in some insane numbers and tell it to like render certain equations, and it'll pull it off. Dude, at least it's good for that.
Yeah.
It can also be great when you're it can also be great when you're studying and you have a very specific question.
Yeah. Because, like, I like to read up on, like, a lot of science and technology stuff and physics, and I might hear a term used and I'm like, I'm not familiar with that, or I might need, like, a refresher, and I can just, like, ask ChatGPT or whatever. I normally just Google stuff, but I can ask it, hey, what does this mean in this context? And it'll just tell me, and it'll, if I'm not sure, it'll be like, cite your sources, and it'll give me the official source.
Super Munchkin would use it to check her math homework.
Yes, it's really useful for that.
Yeah, that's I think that philosophically the best way to look at it is that AI is a tool. It's a very advanced tool that we have. And just like any tool in our toolbox, so to speak. Hey, Aiden's here.
I'm praying that you get a
Hello.
job, Pixie. We're all
That was Clay.
You know,
Trolling is Aiden.
it's so funny because
What a troll.
no, here's what's funny about this. What's really funny about this is like I spend no time thinking about this person. And people keep sending me messages that he's making videos about me. He comes over to leave comments about rumors he's trying to spread about me. His latest one is that like I lost my job or whatever. I'm jobless apparently. I don't know. Anyway, this guy spends like an exorbitant amount of time like trying to chase me down and get my attention, and I just ignore him. And it's
Dude's a
it's
jackass.
really
He's the one who was.
it's hilarious.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I just think it's funny. I think it's fun. Let him dedicate his time to it. He is clearly fucking bothered. Let him have at it.
I think it's
Yeah.
cute. He's trying to pull your hair.
Well, I'm still uninterested.
And not
Where
in a
were
way that
we?
you wanted to pull your hair either. Yeah. But
What were we talking about?
he's a
ChatGPT
dude's-
lying.
Oh yeah, ChatGPT.
That dude is such
liar.
a just to weigh in real quick on him. That dude is such a jackass. He was caught last year trying to he was working with Lupin to help Lupin buy subscribers to his site.
That doesn't
Because all of a
surprise
sudden
me.
the subscriber count went way up, and
It doesn't
and-
surprise me, but I just have no interest in wasting my time on that guy.
So anyway, you want to know what I use ChatGPT
He's a troll.
for?
Oh boy.
Yeah, what do you
Do
what
you
do
use it for any philosophy?
No, it's terrible at that. When there's a paper I need to read to do research, I will just copy and paste the whole thing into ChatGPT, then tell it to read it. And then
Ooh, I do that too.
Yeah, and it will type it out. Then you'll just hit the the audio where it will read what it posted, and then I'll go about my business listening to it. It's fantastic.
Yep, I do that too. That's actually that's one of the main things I do for it.
read stuff to you. That's
Yep.
cool.
I mean, I've even asked it to read Bible chapters to me, and it does. So.
But I think, like before we were interrupted by Clay posing as Aiden, I think I was trying to say that, AI is just, think of it like, we have specific, think of it like a big toolbox. You've got specific tools in your toolbox have specific functions. You're not gonna try to use a hammer as a screwdriver, for example. And you're not gonna try to pound in nails with a plumbing wrench or something. So, and that it may not be completely analogous here because AI is more like a multi-tool. Yeah, I mean, okay, you can do it, but it's not a good idea, right? It's not what it's intended for. But I guess the metaphor is a little bit
I mean, don't misunderstand.
wonky here because AI is kind of a multi-tool.
Like a lot of these dudes.
In that example, in that analogy.
A lot of these dudes who turn their nose up at people who use these large language models, they use AI as well. It's just that the AI they're using, they aren't large language models. They're specifically geared towards solving physics questions, right?
Or they're
and
private
giving out
models.
answers. No. You like even in biology, right? In research, they use AI. You have to program the AI to do something. Large language models are just programmed to be really just that, large language models. They can do calculations, right? But in terms of, like specific calculations, you have to essentially kind of reprogram it into that particular mindset, right? To think like a physicist, right? In order for it to engage in a conversation with you and to help you to solve a problem,
Yeah.
right? Or to do a calculation.
Wait, it doesn't calculate.
Man, that shit is a huge calculator, bro. I don't know what you talking
No,
about.
it doesn't calculate. It doesn't even think. It's not. I don't even think it's accurate to call it intelligence.
Think about
I agree with you there.
It's.
I don't even think that it can be, actually. But that's my opinion.
What a large language model is, right? Imagine you just drew out a maze on like a crazy, insane sized piece of paper, right? With branching paths and a bunch of different exits, right? And where you start in the maze depends on your input, and then you put your input in, and it just does a maze. It has an output. That's all it is. There's no thinking.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that from a functional perspective, like in the back end, but conceptually, I mean, I guess it's supposed to engage you in conversation and emulate, you know, emulate a human, so to speak, right? Like it's not going to be like 1,000% rational in how it engages you. And a matter of fact, they in a lot of these models they have incentive systems that are baked in, where if it does things that makes you keep engaging, it gets rewarded.
And it's going to follow its programming.
Yes.
Ultimately, it is a model, and it is based off certain programming, and yeah, it's not gonna go outside the limitations of its program. And it does not program itself.
It's just keeping track,
right? At least that's not any.
It's just keeping track of what people expect it to say.
Yeah, that's one of the things it does.
No, that's the only thing it does. Even when you ask it a
mean,
math question, it's just keeping track of what you would want it to say. That's it.
I mean, it's a calculator. If you tell it to,
but it doesn't run
do math,
calculations.
Yes, it does. It has to. It literally has to, bro.
No,
it wouldn't be able to function if it doesn't. You
No,
understand? It's a computer program, right?
No, it's not actually.
Okay, then what is it then, sir?
It's a file.
Guys.
It's just raw data.
I'm gonna have to close down soon, but B, I think we have another guest. We'll see who this is real quick. Probably the same person or one of his clan.
Hopefully it's a good guy. Clavon Martin. That's kind of a play on Trayvon Martin.
What's going on? My shit was muted.
Yeah, dude, why are you acting like a troll? What's your problem?
Oh, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we know this is Clay. We know your voice.
Yeah, clearly I'm Clay. My name is Clavon, but why are you calling me a troll?
Yeah, you were on here just a little bit earlier asking, you were saying some crap about why Pixie doesn't have a job or something. What's your problem, bro?
Was I?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we know your voice. We know who you are.
Bro, there's not that many.
Yeah, clearly you know who I am because I'm using my name.
Yeah, there's not that many people floating around, man. There's not like a horde of people you can hide in.
Mm-hmm. Same guy who was helping Lupin get fake subscribers.
There is a horde of people.
We know
like that. Like, don't get me wrong. There is a horde of people, but I'm using my actual name, so.
Yeah. Okay.
And my picture. It's just like, what are you talking about?
How'd you get that? How'd you get your picture taken there?
A friend during the pandemic.
Oh, they captioned it for you and everything?
Yeah, it was like a snap filter during like 2020, I guess. But I don't know. But what are you guys all up to tonight?
I'm here
almost
chilling
up to nothing.
and writing.
Yeah, we were all having a nice little conversation.
Trying to figure out why the hell Sir think a computer program isn't a computer program.
No.
Pixie probably hates me, but to be fair, like I did stick up for you when Tim was going after you, and I called Tim like a weirdo and a bunch of insults.
I don't
But
hate
we're-
you. I just think whatever this childish bullshit you're trying to pull is not worth my time. It is what it is.
Well, you started
right
going
now,
after
I'm
me
just
over
gonna go
missing
to bed,
mod,
so-
but the missing mod thing was like totally
What do you-
fabricated.
Clay, why are you here? What do you want?
I'm bored, honestly, and you're the only one left.
Okay, goodbye. All right. Where were we? Because we need to wrap this up because it is
Some
getting late and
people
I
are
do have
ju-
to go to bed, but I got to bathe the dogs.
We're
Some
at
people
the
just
text
show
file
up and
doesn't
they're
do
good at bringing down a
calculations.
room. You know?
That's where we left off at. Text file doesn't do calculations.
You said text file doesn't do calculations?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with
No.
what's text file. I'm not familiar
I
with
mean,
that.
technically,
A large
yes.
language model is just a glorified text file.
Technically, a text file doesn't do calculations by itself. It needs hardware in order to perform the calculations. It's just a
Yeah, the hardware's doing it. But I know what you meant. It's not a calculator program.
Text file is
I wasn't trying to be
TEX.
pedantic and saying it's not.
FILE.
What are you saying, Beers? I'm sorry. I was laughing on you.
No, I was just saying it's like, are you saying text file or text file?
Text file.
Text
As in
file, like
words. Words on a
okay.
page.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
words
just
on
a
a
plain.
page.
Oh, okay. I thought you were. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the name of like a specific AI or something.
All right, guys, you are awesomeness, but I do have to go get some stuff done and get to bed because I have work in the morning. So, I have a question before I leave you guys to continue this conversation backstage. Clay is back. Do you wish for him to be present?
Well, if you're not going to be here, then no.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not too interested in talking to him. We don't really intersect on anything.
All
I
right.
don't know who he is, but
When's
if he
it-
causes
when's the next
problems,
time
I
you
want
He's
the
on
ability to
GG's
come
all
out.
the time. He's not hard to find. So, you know.
When's the next time you're gonna stream, Pixie?
You know, I always say I might stream this weekend. I might stream this weekend, and I rarely ever do. So your guess is as good as mine. You know what, Batman? When you and Serb tell me to stream again, how about that?
Oh wow! Why you got to do that? That's actually a good point.
Oh man, I haven't even thought about that. I've been doing research. I'm so close to tenure.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh wow. Hey.
We got a year and a half left.
Yay! Look at you go.
You guys, it's been a great conversation that we've had tonight. Pixie, thanks for having us on and hanging out with us.
Of course.
Yeah, what beer
Right.
is said?
It's been a good time.
All right. Well, later days, pretty shiny peoples, and good night, and thank you, and all that good stuff.
All right,
Yeah.
Good night.
Have a good night, y'all. Take care.
Right.
Talk to you again soon.